Okay, students, so today this is your FCAW, Flux Core Arc Welding, known as Dual Shield welding demo. Um, the difference on this one, whenever we set up, all right, on the Lincolns, you have CV wire and CV intershield. Okay, you want to make sure that you have your machine set for intershield. I think on the Millers, it just says CV wire, okay, or MIG, okay. But if you have a setting for intershield, that is the setting you want to have it on. Also um, on your rollers, whenever you adjust your rollers, you want to take some of the tension off because your dual shield or your intershield or your flux core wire is a little bit thicker because it has a flux on the outside of it. If you remember the GMAW demo, that wire is shiny and bright and silver. It doesn't have any, at least the one that we're using in our shop, it doesn't have any type of flux on the outside of it. So it is a much thinner wire. It is about uh, 1/1000th of an inch, I believe, thinner than this one here. This is a thicker wire. And so you need to back off your tension on your rollers, or else what will happen is the wire will not come out as quick and it'll burn up back inside your contact tip, and you'll wind up burning up contact tips, and that's not good. So make sure that you ease off the tension on the spring that holds your rollers in place in your wire unit, your wire feed unit. Okay. If you have any questions on that, ask me. Okay. Ask me. On the Lincolns, it gives you a nice chart that says, hey, this is what it needs to be, so forth and so on. On the Millers, unfortunately, it doesn't. You just kind of got to twist it back and adjust it by hand. All right. So with the GMAW, again, we're going to check our cables, do the same process that we do with all the others, making sure that our ground is hooked up properly, our electrode is hooked up properly, our electrode holder is hooked up properly, our gun's hooked up properly, making sure that our wire speed is set up correctly, our gas is set up correctly. We're noticing that our volt is set at 22.5. Our gas is set up correctly. We're back to using the 1/4 inch thick material, and we're also back to using a drag technique. Okay. This is a dirty wire. A lot of times guys will use this out in the field without any type of shielding gas. You can do that. But here in the shop, we've got the shielding gas. And so we're going to go ahead and use it. This is a very hot weld, hot process. You'll find that the metal gets hot very quickly. It's an easy process. A lot of students progress through this very quickly. But pay attention. Don't get in a hurry. Don't rush this weld. All right. So we're going to set up the weldment the same way that we've done all the others. All of the others. So take two pieces of metal, split them with our third one. See, I want that one on top. No, I had it right the first time. Split them as such. Then we're going to tack, set my fillet weld on top, and then we'll be good to go. All right. And just as before, this thing will not strike an arc until I hit the trigger. And here we go. First thing you notice is this isn't quite as noisy as my GMAW. Actually, a little bit quieter. But you'll notice all of the smoke. And I may have to go turn on my exhaust fans here in just a minute. But let's get this set up and then we'll see. And I think I am going to turn on the exhaust fans. So give me just half a second. That was quick, wasn't it? Yeah, now you can hear the exhaust fans on. Okay, so I've got my junk piece of metal to help prop it up. And as before, you should know this routine by now. It's only about the third or fourth one we've done. Okay, 2 pass, 3 pass, 2 pass, 3 pass. Again, we're going to do a drag motion on this one. Same principle as when we were doing GMAW. I want to try to keep this gun as straight up as possible to allow the shielding gas onto the weld. Okay, not a lot to say because I've already said it in the gas metal arc welding video, and so I'm just going to get to it to let you see what this weld looks like. Okay, and so here we go. Now the problem with this weld, I say the problem, one of the, however you want to look at it, advantages, disadvantages, is this weld leaves slag. So you're going to have to chip the slag away, much like you did when we were stick welding. So people say, well, if I'm going to do that, why won't I just stick weld? Well, some of the advantages of doing this is I can do much longer welds, don't have to stop and change out electrodes all the time, so forth and so on. Okay? All right, so there's my first pass. Ooh, that gets hot quick, very, very hot. All right, so then we're going to take my second pass, and it's going to go at a 45. We're going to hold that gun at a 45. All right, again, just a slight, I'm going to move my ground here. Okay, just a slight angle direction of travel so I can see what I'm doing and throw it on. Okay, so here we go. And again, clear out the slag. Now the nice thing is that this slag is not nearly, because you're using the shielding gas, it's not nearly as difficult to clear out as 7018 or the 6010, some of the other electrodes that we may have used. This is a very hot burning process. And so this metal gets very hot very quickly, so I'm probably not going to be picking it up as much as you've seen me in some of the other videos. Because it just, even with the pliers, boy, it's just blistering. But I will have one ready for you. I got some slag right there I need to clean out. So I've kind of left some slag on there for you to look at on the end.
on the end there, you can see that little slag pocket, about a quarter of an inch, eighth of an inch from the end on this side of right above my glove. Right there, you can see some slag on the top weld, and that's kind of what your two pass should look like. All right, very easy weld to do. Okay, it's important though that you get good tacks on here because this process gets very hot very quickly. Another thing you want to keep in mind is you're getting a lot of spatter from this weld, so you want to keep an eye on your nozzle. All right, and I'll show you here in just a minute how to take care of that. All right, so our next one is going to be a 3-pass. All right, 45, 45, 45. Let's do the first one. Trying to get it right in the center of that weld, right where the two pieces of metal meet. I didn't plan on welding up the entire thing, but it looks like I almost did. I just get so excited about welding. I just enjoy it. I get to come in and weld and teach you guys how to weld. I get excited about it. So again, chipping away the slag. Okay. Bottom weld there. That's what it should look like. Okay. Now, when put this stuff out of my way here. Get this out of my way. When you start getting a lot of slag buildup in the nozzle of your gun here, okay, it should just be handy. Twist it off. You want to be careful. It may be a little warm. Take your MIG pliers. You will notice that the outside edges of your MIG pliers are kind of serrated. Slide them inside and just twist it a little bit. And you want to try to do it when it's a little bit warm. Okay? Because when it's warm, it helps to break up all that stuff that's in there. And it'll clean it up. And then give it a little tap. There's other methods of doing it. I've seen guys grab the wire and drop the wire inside there, but that's probably the easiest way. And it cleans out nice, almost like brand new. All right, because if you let that slag and stuff build in there, then that's going to inhibit the gas flow from getting to your weld, okay, from protecting your weld. All right, 2 more passes real quick. So my next one, again, at the bottom toe of this weld, and then at the top of that toe. All right, so here we go. And one of the things is watching where that cable is. You drag it over your leg, around your leg someplace, get your leg out of the way so that you can move that cable and make sure that you can, one of the things, making sure that you can move your gun without catching on something, your hand catching on something. That's very important as you're welding. Number time. Very nice, very clean welds the majority of the time. If you just keep your gun close to the weld, slag chips off very easy. Very easy weld to complete. Okay. Very easy to do. Now I'm going to run my final pass right at that top toe of that weld I just completed, and I'll run it down about halfway. And here we go. Halfway the weld I just did. I'll set it here for now. And with this one, same as doing FCAW or the other weld, you probably want to be dropping this thing in the tank about every 3 passes or so, because it will get blistering hot. It will get blistering hot. Three pass, ladies and gentlemen, with your FCAW dual shield, inner shield. Okay, and I will have this one sitting out as well for you. Okay, so that is the wire process. Any questions? Email me. Talk to me when you get here. I'll see you in the booth. I'm out.